That was like a hell of a fun, tough basketball game.
It wasn't much fun, Doug. I'll tell you that much. Much fun at all, but.
What kind of game you're gonna have?
Well, it wasn't much fun, but and it's hard to win in this league. It's always something, right? And you have to keep fighting through. And I give our guys credit for just hanging in and fighting. And it wasn't easy, as you know, but we got some stops down the stretch and played a little better defense after the first quarter and hung in there.
You had said before the game that team will hit you five or six times every possession. They did, and how do you think your guys handled it?
Okay. I mean, it gets hard when it's hard for them to handle it all when it's a little touchy. At the other end is what I was looking for, but for the most part, I think they handled it okay.
Pascal in that first half seemed to get in the paint and in the restricted zone pretty much at will. Is that the kind of finishing touch you need to his game to get, as you say, put people in the basket?
Yeah, he did a good job of getting to the front of the rim, making good decisions. And, listen, it was kind of what was available, and he was getting deep, and he was scoring them. It's a little tricky, though, as you probably could tell. It wasn't getting some of the other guys a lot of touches or in rhythm, but it was what was available, so we had to take it.
How big were those minutes from Thad tonight, pretty much from the get-go in the first half?
Thad was great tonight. He really was all the way through. Played a long stretch there to finish, and they were trying to go at him on defense a lot. They were trying to put him in the switches, and he wasn't giving up much. That was the biggest thing, let alone the shots and putbacks and things like that he was getting. But his defense, I thought, was good, and he was fighting, got some loose balls, a couple rebounds too. He was great. That was his best game for sure, most impactful for sure.
What do you think of Pascal's defense with 5 fouls, in overtime?
When he got the sixth one?
Before that, just a couple blocks there.
Oh.
He was making it back.
Yeah. We did a good job of making some late challenges there. Finally they were kind of squeezing a lot of those off and hitting us and jumping into us and doing all kinds of stuff, and we finally got some clearance on those and got a couple blocks in. It wasn't easy out there to get a block shot tonight, though.
What are you saying?
Nothing. It was tough to get a block shot tonight for whatever. I don't know why. It's one of those funny nights.
How did you think, Gary? You said you didn't think he had a lot of movement to him before. What did you think when you saw him?
Probably better. I gave you my honest answer before the game, and I'll stick with that. I think not great. But he got out there and he made a couple big free throws, right? And I don't think there was a couple guys not themselves very physically tonight out there. So just kind of throws more to the guttiness of the win.
You stuck with that tight rotation tonight. Is that just taking a look at certain lineups that you might be using in a few weeks?
Nope. Just what it felt like tonight.
Are you keeping an eye on what's happening elsewhere above you in the standings? You know that Chicago lost?
I heard that they lost. What's that mean?
You guys are tied for fifth.
Tied for fifth? And how many out of first? 3.5? Jeez, that's pretty close. That's pretty close to first place. That's cool. That was a tough one tonight, man. That was a tough game to play, and I think we certainly could have went either way, and we've been on the wrong end of some of those tonight, and you feel really crappy at the end of them when you end up on the wrong side of them. So it was nice that we got one of these kind of ugly grind out. Really know what the hell's going on out there. W's.
Right before the high hiatus, you were on one of those roles, I think, like the Celtics are. You won 15 in a row before losing one, and they've been similarly dominant tonight, or recently. I mean, what is a loss like, that performance say about what they're doing?
Well, I think you always got to take a look at, listen, you say they're missing 4 starters, right? And let's see, 1, 2, 3 all-stars. Who was the 4th? Horford's an all-star. Brown's an all-star. Tatum's an all-star. Who was what? And Robert Williams is ranked the best defensive center in the league right now. Okay. However, they replace him with a couple guys that have started several hundred games in this league, right? And Tice and White, and it just goes to show you. I mean, that's why they're good. That's why they're so good. They got some guys that have played in this league, and they got some serious depth. So, I knew it was tough mentally on us to see those guys out. We came out and played like, oh, this is what we got to play against tonight. And I knew it was going to be tough on us, and I knew those guys are really good. We've seen them play before, and you guys saw them play tonight. They're good. They're good players.
Sorry, it's a really quick question on that. He had that kind of fall about 1:18 left in overtime. He was kind of limping around the rest. Any updates?
Yeah, we had a couple guys go down there with about 1.5 minutes to go. We'll have to see. He looked okay to me when I just saw him in the locker room, but we'll have to check that in the morning to see how he's doing. And Freddie had a tough fall too, right in front of the bench there late. So we'll have to monitor both those.
We'll go to Lewis online. Go ahead, Lewis.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, Fred, with the knee injury, is still giving you a lot. But he's a different type of player than he is totally healthy. How do you, as a whole team, make up for sort of the differences in how he is as a player between healthy and
Well, we're certainly having to go other directions offensively, right? And make him more of a catch-and-shoot shooter right now. I thought he did make a couple really good drives there. I mean, he got super determined there somehow. He wasn't feeling it tonight, and then he still made some huge shots and a couple huge kickouts. He made 2 in a row that I think OG missed the first one, but he made the second one off an extra pass from Gary, but those were both started by Freddie, I believe. And then he obviously made those big shots. But yeah, to answer your question, you can probably tell we're lots of guys are bringing the ball up the floor. We're running a few different things than we normally do.